You actually lose weight eating pasta and bread in Europe, but eating a bowl of pasta and a basket of bread here, and you just feel like you want to go to sleep and you're in a bad mood. But then you go to Italy and you have a fat bowl of pasta and maybe even a glass of wine. You feel amazing. Why is that? Well, because in 1993, the chemical industry convinced the federal government that we needed to spray our entire grain supply with folic acid. All flour, all bread, all pasta, all cereal. Although we don't call it sprayed with folic acid, we call it enriched. So enriched foods are foods that are sprayed with folic acid. Folic acid is a man-made chemical that we make in a laboratory. You cannot find it anywhere on the surface of the earth. It does not exist naturally in Mother Nature. Doesn't sound like a big deal until you realize it's the most prevalent nutrient in the human diet. I'm not saying don't eat grains or rice or pasta or cereals or bread. I'm saying eat the non-enriched versions of those, the organic versions of those.
Gary's back at it, spitting nothing but nonsense. So as far as his kind of claim that essentially you can eat bread, pasta here, and then you actually feel like crap, you want to go to sleep, doesn't even benefit, but you go to Europe, you eat it, you lose weight, whatever it is. So I think the biggest difference there is the fact that when you're typically in Europe, you're probably on vacation, right? So you're not actually sitting at a desk for 8 to 9 hours a day. You're not going from sitting at a desk to sitting on a couch. You're walking around all day. You're getting a little bit of exercise, some movement, some blood flow, all those kind of little things. And yes, as far as the folic acid thing, the enriched carbs versus the non-enriched carbs, but then he kind of contradicts himself by saying, oh, just actually eat the organic non-enriched carbs. Well, we have those here in America too. So I think it's this big claim about America versus other countries, and then he kind of backtracks and say, oh, but we still have organic options, right? Like we still have chickpea whole grain pastas that aren't enriched. And just by eating carbs and bread over in Europe does not mean you lose weight. It means you're probably moving more. You're going from a sedentary lifestyle to an active lifestyle. You typically only have 2 big meals. Well, it depends on the person, but typically on vacation, you're having 2 big meals. You don't have a pantry full of food that you're snacking on throughout the day. So it's more so the calorie output and the calorie input that matters when you're on vacation someplace like Europe, traveling, exploring a lot versus a sedentary lifestyle you have at home. I think that's the biggest impact of why people maybe gain weight at home and maybe might kind of lose weight, because trust me, I gain weight on vacation typically myself.